Talk about something I had planned previously to taking and reading the Fritzer quiz, so some of you are familiar with this topic, but I am a business major prior to entering this. You ever wonder who's in charge around here? Why is it that we will pay almost $40 for a pair of shoes and $75 for the textbook for this class? Who is setting these prices for us before we enter into the store? Who pays these guys? Why is it that a classroom teacher makes about $30,000 and Michael Jordan makes $18 million? It's 3 a.m. and I have a headache. I decide I'm going to drive to Walgreens and get some Excedrin migraine. How is it that Walgreens knows to have that on the shelf, that I'm going to walk in at 3 a.m. and purchase this? How do they know to have enough in stock? It's the law of demand and the law of supply. And the law of demand states as the price of a good rises, its quantity demanded will fall, and vice versa. So in this example I put up, renting videos. If the price of renting a video is $5, the quantity demanded is 10. And then it works its way down, and you can see all the way down to if we're renting it for one video, the quantity demanded then is 50. So we can use Jolly Ranchers as an example. As it rises, if a cost of a Jolly Rancher was 75 cents to $1, the odds are pretty good not many people are going to purchase it. We wouldn't find that to be suitable. So we wouldn't need as many out on the shelf. If they were $1 or more a piece, we could use less on the shelf because their demand is less. Supply, on the other hand, states that as the price of a good rises, its quantity supplied will increase. So it works on the opposite slope of the demand. So producers believe that as it rises, so will the quantity out on the shelf. What we want to figure out, an economist work on, is finding the equilibrium. You can see in the center here, this is where the point of supply and demand meet. And that is often when the market is the most stable. So where the suppliers are supplying enough and we're demanding enough, it's right in the middle where they meet. A shortage occurs when the quantity demanded exceeds the quantity supplied, and then a surplus occurs when a quantity supplied is more than what we have demanded. The shift in the demand curve, some of the factors that influence this is the change in our income. So as consumers, as our incomes change, demands for things change. Population change also affects this. So as a town or a state may increase or decrease, or even as a nation, demands of things change. Consumer preference, maybe it has to do with I'm not going to buy generic, or I am deadlocked into buying Tide detergent, and everyone around me is also set on that product. They don't need to supply as much of the all detergent on the shelves. Another thing is price of related goods. Just like saying I might select a generic brand or a name brand over a generic brand, the reverse can be true as well. So that can impact that, as well as those things that complementary items. So if I'm really dead set on Snuggle dryer sheets and Tide detergent, the prices of those things can influence the demand. And again, with that, substitutions and complements, things that we can substitute in there. Things that cause the shift in the supply curve are change in the cost of inputs, increases in technology, and change in the size of the industry. So these are things that impact producers of products and things that will ultimately determine or could affect the shift in that supply curve. There are government relations for setting prices that go along with this. The price ceiling is a legal maximum that can be charged for a good, so there are actually caps that are set there, and that is set by the government. And then a price floor, which is a legal minimum that can be charged for a good. Going back to the example, I'm going to feed you guys, so everyone is going home with something. Really, the main principle to remember with supply and demand, I know it can get really confusing, but it really is the prices increase, will want less or demand less, but suppliers, which kind of makes sense because it seems like everything goes up in price anyways, the more that will be available. And we want to meet in the middle. The key of it is really meeting in the middle with the equilibrium and finding that where the market is stable. You guys have any questions?
Is there a price ceiling and a price floor for every single product?
You know, I'm not 100% sure on that. Do you have feedback? He's like, I'm just taping today. I'm not certain. What I was reading is that there are prices set as a ceiling and to me it seems like there has to be a point, and I know there's governing elements in it for monopolies and other things, so it might just be the point. I don't know that they're going through and saying you can't charge 75 cents for a Jolly Rancher, but that's the ceiling. Is there anything else?